Hello YouTube and welcome back to another video on the channel, and we are back today with PIDA. Now it's been God knows how long since we did PIDA last, which was, I mean, if you watch the live draft we did a few weeks ago for the new Roulette season of PIDA. So the last PIDA video was in season 2 when the league unfortunately had to stop halfway through the season because everyone most of the games weren't being played and everyone was falling out of it. So I thought, okay, I'll just cut it here. I'll just cut it before it dies, that sort of thing. And then at a few months off over the summer, I thought, okay, right, had some new ideas to bring PIDA back and try and be more more of a fun league rather than like a proper competitive league like I've done my 3DS Wi-Fi leagues and so on. But yeah, this is more about fun leagues. So hopefully you guys enjoy the absolute madness content of PIDA Roulette. Now, this video is going to be an overview of all the rules of PIDA Roulette and whatnot, and then I'll go over my draft, and then hopefully if I have time, I'll try and do my games. I'll try and get my games done, depending on if you guys show your support on this video. Then I'll try and get my PIDA games up and chugging on the channel. So unlike any other draft league, this league is all up to the wheel. Everything is up to the wheel. You have the only control you have in this league is building your team most of the time and battling. That is it. You draft, and all that stuff, randomized. So the first thing was the draft. Now, if you remember the wackiness, the madness of the PIDA tiers from different seasons gone by, you remember last time there was four tiers, and you had to draft 3 from each, and then so on and so forth. But now, in this tier list, there is 12 different tiers because you draft a mon from each tier, and all the Ubers and are in tier 1, and then all of the tier 1s, and I've tried to split them all down. So every mon up from Ubers down to PU, I do believe, are in this, and there's some, as always, the madness of PIDA tiers. I think Zygarde's in tier 6 with its complete form. You have the likes of Durant and whatnot in tier 2. You've got the likes of Celesteela in tier 1. You've got Mega Ordino in tier 4, and so on and so on and so forth. So basically, it came to draft time, and everyone said, right, I want a mon in tier 2. So they go to the wheel, they can spin the wheel, and they say, right, your mon is going to be, for example, Jirachi. So you're stuck with Jirachi. But, however, each person has 12 different tokens to use throughout the draft. So these 12 tokens allows you to respin the wheel to say, I don't want Jirachi on my team. Let me re-roll and see what I get. And Jirachi could get re-rolled into for example, it could re-randomize to Rotom Wash, and that person might say, okay, I'll take Rotom Wash, and then move on to next person, and so on and so forth. Same old snake format, whatnot. Now, over this course of the draft, you get all the tokens and whatnot. So once all your 12 tokens are gone, that is it. Whatever the wheel gives you, that is what you have to use throughout the rest of the season. For the rest of the season, that's what you have to use. So it's kind of luck. It's basically luck based. What can I say? It's basically luck based. So you could draft an absolutely amazing team. You could draft an absolutely crappy team, but you'll always be guaranteed some power because the Ubers tier, you'll guarantee at least one Uber unless you're really, really unlucky. And then it pans down. The lower tiers, you'll mainly get PU mons, but you have to draft some crappy mons in the draft anyway. So once the draft was complete, then the fixture lists had to be randomized and whatnot. Now, unlike for example, ABC or LTC, they play the same format throughout the entire season. UCC this season, that's not going to wild. No one's really watching. But anyway, you see, there's different. It's kind of like UCC, but they've got right. Set 1 is going to be 3 games of this format. The next one's going to be 3 games of that format, and then 3 games of that format, and 3 games of that format, and so on and so on and so on and so forth. Now, PIDA is a little bit different because There are 16 different formats, as you can see. There are double battles, balance hack mons, 12v12, mix and mega, lockdown, triples, mono stab, no stab allowed, almost any ability, roulette build, sketch mons, what yours is mine, VGC, choice wars, metronome, and inverse battle OU. Now, all those 16 metas are randomized, so, and then each fixture individually gets assigned to one of these formats. So, for example, in week 1, I could play, I don't know, I play an opponent, and that game will be, for example, might be triples. And then 2 other coaches for that week might get mono stab. Someone else might get mix and mega. Someone else get balance hack bond. So every single game will be completely different. And most of the time, it shouldn't really affect it. But like, for example, 12v12, it gives you like a boost because you can get more differential, but you can also get worse differential. And like VGC, you play best of 3 games, so your differential might go up and down a little bit. But all in all, it's a complete and utter mad fest. Now, as always, there's like tangible. Look at all these rules. Look at all these rules. So yeah, so standard PIDA rules apply from like the previous seasons, which there isn't any rules, barring you have to hold the Mega Stone. If you draft a Mega one, you have to hold the Mega Stone. So if you draft Mega Gyarados, for example, you can bring it and not Mega Evolve it, but it has to hold the Gyarados site. Do you get what I mean? So there's no first turn Mega, but you have to hold the Mega Stone for it. And there's no sleep clause, no evasion clause, no moody clause, no sleep clause. None of that. We have none of that here. You can go mad, just, be creative as possible. And that's what you have to do. So doubles, bog standard really. Just a normal 6v6 double battle. Balance hack mons is the second meta, which it's kind of like balance hack mons like on the Shonen ladder, but there's a sort of semi able to build for twist to it, because if it's balance hack mons, you can just go, oh, this mon can learn this ability, that move. How am I supposed to prep for this? So on balance hack mons, from your 12 mons, you can use any ability from your 12 mons. So, for example, if I had a Miltank on my team, for example, I could run Thick Fat on a mon, I could run Sap Tipper on a mon, I could run Scrappy on a mon, but I could only be able to use that ability once. So if I only have one Scrappy mon, only one of my mons can learn Scrappy, for example. And this also goes for moves as well. So if you can't use a move that none of your 12 mons learn. So, for example, again, I'll take Miltank for the example. It can learn Milk Drink. So all of your team can learn Milk Drink. But if you don't have a Miltank or a Go-Go or anything that learns Milk Drink on your team, you can't have Milk Drink on your team of 6 for the Balance Hack Mons meta. Now, meta number 3 is 12v12, which is pretty much straightforward. You have to bring all 12 of your mons to a game versus the rest of your team's build. So you just go all out. You have to use your entire team, all 12, and try and win the game. Pretty much bog standard, as you do. Meta 4 is Mix and Mega, which is following the exact format that is used on the Showdown meta on obviously Showdown, where you can use any mon can Mega Evolve using any stone or any orb you'd like, barring the few banned lists, as you can see in the beautiful red box here. Apart from these, you can use any Mega Stone, any mon, whatever you want. So, for example, if I gave a Pinsirite to Zygarde, Zygarde would gain the stat boost that Pinsir gets, which would be plus 30 attack, plus 20 speed, I think about plus 10 or 15 in both defenses and whatnot, and and add the flying type to that mon. So if I was a Zygarde, I'd get plus 30 attack, plus 20 speed, and become a dragon flying type with Aerolate. That's how it works. Pretty. It's kind of straightforward. It gives you a more like creative aspect. So you could have like a semi useful mon and give it a Mega Stone or an orb, and it could be, oh my god, this mon is now broken, for example, depending on what mons you get, because there's quite a lot of mons which you can't use in the meta, and there's quite a few Mega Stones, obviously the ones that give you pure power, the ones that give you no guard, the ones that give you speed boost, the ones that give you parental bond and all that stuff, which would be busted. But yeah, that's the metas for that one. Now, meta number 5 is Lockdown. Lockdown. down, where standard 6v6 game, but you're not allowed to switch out unless you use an item or a move. So unless you use Volt Switch, U-turn, bat and pass, parting shot, or use mimes like eject button or red card, there's no switching for you, my friend. There is no switching for you. So it's kind of like these games are probably going to be quick games unless they bring like bulk v bulk and have to just sit there and just, try and toxic score each other to death. Or it's going to be, oh, I'm going to lead with my Sizzle, for example, and you're going to lead with my Talonflame. And the Talonflame's going to go, well, I can't switch out now. Because I could put U-turn, but Talonflame outspeeds me every day of the week. So it's just going to flare blitz me, kill me out, there's my Sizzle gone, just like that. So can be a very interesting kind of meta, for example. Could like switch up that rule set in like next season because obviously in UCC to lockdown, and it also has a restriction of none of the mons can learn the same move. So, for example, if a mon has Volt Switch, none of the rest of your team can learn Volt Switch. Same with Toxic, same with Protect, or anything like that. So, could be an interesting put in if we try and do this for next season, which will probably won't be until Gen 8 comes out. So, some interesting stuff to play around with once Gen 8 comes out. Next up, Meta 6 is triple battles, pretty much like standard. Same as double battles, but it's just triple battles, as you do. Meta number 7 is stab only, which is pretty much, again, self-explanatory, where you can only use moves which are the same typing as your mon. So this includes physical and status moves. So only poison types can learn toxic, only fighting types can learn power punch in close combat, examples such as that. But if you use a move that can change your typing, like transform or soak, then you can't use stab. So if you soaked an opponent and it became a water type, it could only use water types or that water type moves, or that mon is if it uses a move that's not stab, then that's an automatic forfeit. I'm sorry, that's breaking the rules, so that's automatic forfeit. So so if you've got a Pokemon, your opponent knows who's got a mon that's got like Soak or Trick or Treat. Well, not Trick or Treat because it just adds a typing, but if you use Soak a mon, for example, then and you know it's got that, you'd bring like a backup water type move. So if you do become a water type, you can have an option to use that move when you're like that. Meta number 8 is like exactly the same as stab, but it's the other way around, where you can't use stab. So if you're a poison type, you can't use toxic. If you're a fighting type, you can't use close combat power punch. So pretty much the same as that, but it's just reversed. Meta number 9 is almost any ability, where it's basically normal 6v6 custom PIDA rules game, but any mon can learn any ability in the game, barring the few banned, as you can see in this red box here. So you can't use Comatose, Contrary, Fluffy, Fur Coat, Huge Power, Illusion, Imposter, In is Out, Parental Bond, Protean, Pure Power, Simple, Speed Boost, Stakeout, Water Bubble, and Wonder Guard. Barring that, you can use any ability in the game on your mon, so you can bring Toxic Heal, Tapu Fini, for example, and just get more creative with that. Meta number 10 is Roulette build. Now, Roulette build is the only meta in this format where you don't have to build any of your team. So basically, what you have to do is, unless I am in the game, playing in that game, I will randomize your mons. So, for example, if you have a group of 12, I'll say, right, randomize number 10. You're going to bring your tier 10. You're going to have, and I'll randomize its moves, its ability, its items, its EVs, and everything. And I'll give you the team. It'll be thrown together. It'll probably be trash, not going to lie. And then we'll just see who wins. So it's basically like Hackmon's Cup on the Showdown ladder, but it can only learn moves that it can actually learn, and same as abilities-wise. So those games can be quite interesting, and if the wheel is nice to you and gives you, like, for example, a Crawlon, which gets knockoff Crab Hammer, then you just win, don't you? Because all of his other team will be trash. You won't be able to touch it. So it's just one of those things, isn't it? Now, Meta 11 is Sketchmons, which basically is a custom game because Sketchmons is usually just Odium and above, but with raised limits, so it can be Ubers as well for this season. And it's basically, Sketchmons is pretty much any mon can learn one move that it doesn't learn. So, for example, Ambipom can use Extreme Speed, Mega Aggron can use Recover, and all of that kind of nonsense. So it's kind of like balance hackmons, but you're restricted to one move, and that move can be any move in the game. Any move you want. So that's always a win for that one. Meta 12 is what's yours is mine, which is pretty straightforward. So let's say Team A is playing Team B. Team A has to use Team B's team, and Team B has to use Team A's team. So if on your draft you have, let's say, Mega Metagross, so let's say your team has Mega Metagross on it. Your opponent gets to use your team with the Mega Metagross, and you have to use his team, which will play like Mega Tyranitar on it, for example. So you have to build with those team, and you have to build with that team. But then you should, after like a few weeks down, you should know, right, my team is really weak to this, and this. So I should know that if I use this to counter out my weaknesses, I should win the game. So GG, pick up that W, win the game. Meta 13 is VGC. So you just follow the most recent VGC rules, VGC 2019. Best of 3 game, and I'll add up. So if you win the best of 3, for example, if you win 2 out of 1, then you win. You just get a point, really. You get 1 win. For example, if you win the VGC game, you win, just following the standard VGC rules. But PIDA rules do apply. So you can use there's no move restrictions. You just can't use mons, which you're not allowed to use in VGC 2019. If that makes sense. That's pretty much it. Meta 14 is Choice Wars. Now, Choice Wars is pretty much going to be every mon you bring has to hold a choice item. Has to be Choice Scarf, has to be Choice Specs, has to be Choice Band. Barring that, you can do whatever you want. Obviously, you can't bring your Megas because your Megas have to hold the Mega Stone. So you could bring any mon barring your Megas, and they all have to be choiced. So can be quite an interesting game. It's going to be a quick game, more than likely, because you have to either hit things hard or just outspeed everything and just try and kill things like that. So that can be quite an interesting game as well. Meta 15 is Metronome Battle, which, if you've been a long Seventon channel, you know I love a bit of Metronome, me. And pretty much you have to bring 6 mons. They can only learn Metronome, and just hope Arceus gives you some good moves and you win the game. So that's pretty much it from Metronome. But it's pretty self-explanatory, but that's how you do it. And the last meta is the only meta which is OU, because you can't really do this in custom game. It's Inverse Battle, where, for example, if you have Shift Tree is weak to everything in the game. Pretty much. It's got the most weaknesses in the game. But in Inverse Battle, it will have the most resistances in the game, if you catch my drift. So where the type chart is flipped on its head, so electric types will be weak to electric. If it's immune to the move, it'll be ×2 weak. So normal typing is double effective against ghost types, and ghost types are double effective against normal types. And water is super effective against grass. Grass is super effective against fire, and fire is super effective against water, for example, just like that. So yeah, and there's like a few additions, like banned mons. So Q and Black, Superior, Hooper Unbound, Kartana, Tapu Bulu, Tapu Lele, and Diggersby are all banned from Inverse Battle OU, but Aegislash, Mega Lucario, Dialga, Giratina, and Solgaleo are all added because they're all steel types, and steel types in Inverse Battle are trash because they're weak to everything in the game. And so, it's just one of those things, isn't it? It's one of those things. So there's all the 16 metas in the game explained. There's 9 or 10. There's 9 weeks of games, but everyone is split into groups of 2 divisions of 6. Top 3 going to playoffs. Both winners get a bye straight to the semi-final. Then second and third from each group play each other, and then they go to the semi-final, then go to the final, and then the winner overall will be crowned the champion of PIDA Roulette Season number 1. Technically it's PIDA Season 3, but it's the Roulette version of Season 1. So that is all the rules and stuff explained. Now it's time to see what madness the wheel has given me for Season 1 of PIDA Roulette. Now, I'm pretty sure, I can't remember, I drafted it in orders because, I can't remember if I explained this or not, but the tiers all have different, because in previous PIDAs, every tier had the exact same amount of mons in. This season it's not, because some has got 40, some got 50, some got 43, all that lot. So these are just draft. I didn't draft these in order, but I'm going to explain now, but they're all in tier order. So my tier 1 Uber was Mega Kangaskhan. Now, it's probably not the Uber that I was looking for, because Mega Kanga is sometimes allowed in other leagues as like an Uber, which is brought down because it's not as broken. You get what I mean? Because it's allowed in like UCC and stuff, but you can't learn Seismic Toss, which again is one of the only few rules in this league, because if a Mega Kangaskhan will just go Seismic Toss, Seismic Toss, Seismic Toss, 100 damage every time. GG, that's all. That's no reads. So yeah, Mega Kanga is right here, and I've not really used it before, but I'm really looking forward to it, because I know way back in X and Y days it was absolutely busted. I know it's been nerfed now, because I think Proton Bond used to do, was it 50%? Now I think it only does 25, so it's not as broken, but Power Up Punch combos, it gets fake out, so double fake out, and all that kind of stuff. It's quite bulky, not gonna lie. 100 speed's not bad at all. Obviously it gets quite varied amount of moves, not gonna lie. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this mon's gonna do. Obviously, if I get balance hack bonds, I can put Proton Bond on anything. So that's a good thing if I do end up getting balance hack bonds. But I don't know. You have to wait and see if I do get balance hack bonds this season. So yeah, Mega Kangaskhan is here. These aren't nicknamed. I think I'm gonna call it Mama Roo, because I think, isn't that what the Mama kangaroo is called in Winnie the Pooh? I think is it Mama Roo? I'm gonna have to look that up now after this video to see what that name is. Now my tier 2 is probably my favourite dragon in the game. My green and purple dragon, Ghidorah, the Hydreigon. Now, I don't think I have used Hydreigon before in League, which is very surprising to me, because it's obviously my favourite dragon. I just haven't got around to using it, not going to lie. I don't know why. Maybe because I used to I like Salamence Hydreigon like pretty much equal, but I've tended to use Salamence more, because Salamence is usually like the better option, because Salamence has always been an OU. Hydreigon is just a UU like stimulant. Because fairy type getting introduced, it's not as good. But hey ho, Hydreigon's here with its 125 special attack. Can be run physical if I really wanted to. 98 speed, so we've got quite the kind of speed. Well, not really speedy, but you know what I mean. Similar speed tiers so far, so that's always good. Obviously, Hydreigon gets like Draco Dark Pulse Stab. It gets Earth Power, which is nice. It gets Flash Cannon, it gets Flamethrower. Deal with the Steel and the Fairy types. It also gets Surf, which is very interesting. And it can also get Superpower and whatnot. It can get the set I tend to usually run back in the day when I did use it. I've used it recently, just not in League. If you catch my drift, I've used like on the ladder, in competitions when it's not draft, and usually run Life Orb or Choice Scarf or Choice Specs, or bog standard fast attacker set. I slap a Choice or Life Orb on it and just kill live. So hopefully Hydreigon can put in the work for us this season. Next up, we've got our second dragon. We have Radioactive, our Kieran Black, because when it's shiny, it's got green tubes going around it full of nuclear waste. And yeah, so we've got two busted dragons on our team, which is absolutely amazing, because it's got 170 attack and Dragon Claw. Unfortunately, it doesn't get any good ice stab physical wise, rather than free shock, but that's a 2-turn charge up move, so not gonna be the best. But if we get obviously like Sketchmons or Balance Hackmons, you can slap an Ice Punch on it, and then it's just, or an Ice Hammer or an Icicle Crash, and you're like, it's killing things. It's actually killing things. So that's always nice. 95 speed. So far, all three of the mons are within 5 speed. So that is absolutely amazing. So nice to know, all around the 100 to 90 mark so far. Always good. Got quite a fighting type weakness so far, because Kanga's weak to it, Hydreigon's weak to it, Kyurem's weak to it. So, it's just one of those things. Fighting type could be an issue, but we've got some options down the line to deal with that. Next up, we have our boy. We have Robin, our Deki Dewey, our Decidui, which obviously helps with our fighting time weakness, with 70 speed, 177 attack, 100 in special attack and special defense. I have used Decidui before in League, and I wasn't impressed by it, not gonna lie, because when I used it, it just pretty much didn't do anything all game and just died. It got rid of rocks. It got rid of rocks pretty much. Killed some things with its Z move, and barring that, didn't do a lot. Let's be real, it didn't do a lot. So I'm hoping it can prove me wrong again this season. Now this is the good thing about the PIDA Roulette, is that you tend to use mons that you wouldn't really use before, and then you can find some hidden gems, and you think, oh, I really like using this mon. I've never used it in Draft League before, so let me go into this Serious League and try it out and see how it goes in there. So hopefully the Decidueye can prove me wrong, and get some kills and stuff for me, because it runs physical and special. Obviously it gets Spirit Shackle, it seems to move. Should be very interesting. Get Leaf Blade, obviously. U-turn, defog, all that shenanigans. I think does it get Leech Seed? I don't think it gets Leech Seed. It doesn't get Leech Seed. I thought it didn't. But yeah, looking forward to using Robin again and see how it works. Now, next up, we have our second Gen 7 starter. We have Stefano, our Primarina, who is our boy from the first ever time I played Sun and Moon. Popular was my starter. When I played Ultra Sun on the channel, I used Incineroar. And, Decidueye, I really like Decidueye. I don't know. I kind of like all of the ones in Gen 7, but they're all like, tier. Then, none of them are like, oh my god, they're my favourite, or like, no, oh my god, they're the worst. They're just average gen for starters. So yeah. Don't hate me in the comments if you disagree with that. But there was a whole podcast on that where everyone shouted at me for saying all the wrong things, because I went with my heart and just said no, all these things. They just didn't believe me. So I'm very disappointed about that. But anyway, Primarina's here. I've used Primarina before. I really love using Primarina because it's so specially bulky, and it can be bulky offensive. It can be with True Specs, and that thing will kill lives with Moonblast, and it can get Liquid Voice, Hyper Voice, which is really good. Stab, Hyper Voice, which can go through subs. Basically better than Surf. So, it's really good. Unless you have a soundproof mod, obviously. But, one of those things. Obviously gets Moonblast for stab as well. It gets Ice Beam and Blizzard and all that kind of shenanigans. So, really looking forward to using Primarina again. And hopefully it can help me get some W's this season. Next up, we have our tier 6. We have Torterra. So we've got all the dragons and all the starters assist so far, plus the Mega Kangaskhan. So we've got Torterra, Europe, our Torterra. I don't really know how I feel about Torterra. I like Torterra, not going to lie, but I've never used it in League, and it's probably the worst of the Gen 4 starters in competitive, not going to lie, because it's quad weak to ice. It's really slow. It's got a good defensive bulk, but special bulk's kind of meh. I think it gets like Earthquake. Let's get Earthquake. What's its grass? Raise, Seed Bomb, Superpower, Heavy Slam. Does it even get? It does get Stone Edge. I meant that I thought it didn't get Stone Edge. So it's probably good. This is our first Stealth Rock. It's our first Stealth Rocker. Okay, so Torterra might just be brought for Stealth Rocks. Could be run for a defensive pivot, I guess, depending on the team matchup. So, looking forward. Probably not going to see a lot of Europe this season, but you never know, because Decidueye and Torterra kind of do the same job. They're both kind of bulky, and they're good physical attackers. So, if I want Defog, I'll bring Decidueye. If I want Stealth Rocks, I'll bring Torterra. Barring that, it's going to be like a whole, probably not going to bring it. What's its hidden ability? Shell Armor. Oh boy, what a fantastic ability. So next up, we've got a boy, Colesneck, our Zygarde, which in this league can run Power Construct. So I have Kieran Black, Hydreigon, and Zygarde complete on my team. The dragons are coming. The dragons are coming in this league, and I'm so hyped to use Triple Dragon. Triple Dragon. Lance will be so proud. So we've got 216 base HP, we've got 100 attack, 121 defense. I'm going to stomping like a truck. We could Dragon Dance up. We just click Outrage with 1,000 arrows and just go, ha ha, ha 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 ha, I'm going to defeat you all with my Zygarde 100%. So, we're looking forward to using Zygarde. Because, you know, it's really busted. Zygarde 100% is kind of busted, so I'm hoping the bustedness can help me pick up my first championship ever. I say this every season, but hopefully this is the one. It's randomized, and you know what, to be fair, the wheels in the past in Pearl, Leaf Green, and in the Heart Gold versus Checkmate Ben haven't been kind to me except in Pearl, so hopefully it comes in freeze, doesn't it? It comes in freeze. Leaf, we had versus Leaf Green, now this. What's the next? So next season, I use the wheel. I should get some good luck for once. So hopefully the wheel doesn't screw me over with like the formats and all that shenanigans, all that stuff. So looking forward to that. Next up, we've got our gal, Susie. We had Susie in ABC before I went on strike and all that shenanigans. And yeah, she grew up. And now she's a Gothitelle with Shadow Tag. Yeah, boy, we've got some bulk on our team. We've got Primarina, Torterra. So we've got Dragons and bulk. That is our team. We've got Dragons and bulk. Dragons and bulk. Dragons and bulk. Dragons and dragons and dragons and bulk. So it's quite specially defensive bulky. If it just sits, it could just sit back and go, you're going to toxic you. You can't touch me. Let me set up some calm minds. Let me go to sleep. Now let me go for psychic. All that shenanigans. So pretty much what I did with Susie, but I can use the Gothitelle and carry leftovers instead of Eviolite. Be more bulky. Yeah, boys. Hopefully Gothitelle can put the work because it's slowly creeping up the tier list. It's in tier 7 now. In the seasons of PIDA seasons of old, it was in like tier 5. So it has kind of climbed up slowly, but I'm hoping I get promoted to tier 6 and get Zygarde up to tier 5 and try and move the power up a bit, because slowly it's been selling out because the steel types have been dropping and the powerhouses have been moving up. So hopefully in the future we can, you know, find a structure that will work. And then when Gen 8 comes out, the tiers can just go mad. I'm just going to go, oh, that mon can go there. That mon can go there. There. It could be like madness. But anyway, that's what about next season. Don't even ignore me. Next up, we've got Dave, our Flareon. Dave! Shout out to the Heart Gold versus, where we have got Dave the Flareon. Dave the Flareon can be run physical because 130 attack. Can be run special defense, 110. Because I now have this in another league, which that video hopefully should go up very soon. So you should definitely go check that out when that drops on the channel. So if you want to see that, please see and subscribe. But Flareon is here, Dave, and it's going to be quite the interesting one because it gets Flash Fire, obviously, so good fire type switching. It gets Guts as well. So Flame Charge Gut set could work to try and outspeed stuff because of a choice, because it's not the fastest one in the world. Looks at base 65. So it's already fire type, so I'm probably going to bring it more often than not. But I'm excited because I haven't really used Flareon before, and now I get the chance to, and I'm really excited. So your boy is hyped. Next up, we've got our boy Kachow is back with us, who we had in the PBAL, where we just missed. If you missed on that video, I highly recommend you go back and check that out. The meltdown is unreal, people. The meltdown is unreal. So check out my last PBAL video because, oh my god. Anyway, Manectric actually put in the work for me. Choice Spec Manectric hits like a mother trucking truck. 105 speed, so it's quite fast. Slap a Choice Specs on it. Thunderbolt is doing wrecking lives. It gets Overheat. It gets Signal Beam. Bish bash bosh. If you don't have a ground type, be up. Manectric is here to kill lives and hopefully pick up some W's for me, like it did in PBAL. Now, next up we've got we've got a Wishy-Washy. So yeah, I don't know what to think about this Mom, because it's our first water type. It's okay, I guess. When I first saw it in the Gen 7 trailers, I thought, oh, this mon's going to be a powerhouse. It's going to be no, it's going to be trash because as soon as it gets to like 20%, it's going to go, oh, I suck, look at these stats. And it's too slow to do anything. And it's kind of bulky, but its HP is not great. So it's not slow. So it's not fast enough to get a hit off before its HP goes down. And if it's a stupid powerful mon, it's going to go down really quickly. And it's going to go to a baby form. And then the attack it's going to go for is going to be a bit trash. So unless I get it under Trick Room, it's not going to be that great of a mon. So I don't see Wishy Washy being brought at all. Probably. Unless it's a 12v12. Or it's a roulette build and I have to use it. That's the only reason I think I'm going to use Wishy Washy. So the first opportunity I can get, I will get rid of Wishy Washy. And last but not least, we've got Caracosta, our tier 12. Which is going to be probably I was like so glad I got Caracosta because what am I on about? Because we've got Primarina. What the hell am I on about? I don't even know. But we've got multiple water types, so Wishy Washy definitely not being brought. Because we're going to bring Primarina or Caracosta over every single time. There is no way in hell that Wishy Washy has a better matchup than Primarina or Caracosta. So your boy is looking forward to that. So we can Shell Smash, you know, what with Caracosta. It's got 32 speed, but if we max speed times 2, it's going to outspeed some things. It's going to kill things with Liquidation and Earthquake and Stone Edge and Rock Slide and whatnot. So I'm really looking forward to using Caracosta this season. So that is our team for PIDA Roulette Season number 1. If you guys are hyped that PIDA is back on the channel, make sure you smash the like button down below. Be subscribed if you're new around here and would like to keep up with the PIDA content. As always, leave any comments below. I'll try and answer them as soon as possible. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in a future video. Bye!